Hey guys, it's Dustin.
Hey guys, Happy New Year. It's Amanda.
Happy freaking New Year.
I mean, we're like more than halfway through the month, but hey, better late than never. It's still a new year.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And what a year it's been.
Oh, talk about trimming the fat, like you said.
That's exactly what this year is all about, just purging all the bad.
So just to give you guys updates for what has happened in the last half of January, I did get a job at Atomic Cartoons, so that's something to look forward to.
That is so very exciting for all of us.
There was a little hiccup in the email that I got, so I might not get it now. I don't know, but we'll see what happens.
I think it was just a misuse of words. They don't hire you and then not.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? You're good.
So, but they're amazing. The guys that I talked to, they were awesome. They're doing this awesome project. I don't know if I can talk about it, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But they were awesome, and they're really cool guys, and the company seems really great so far. So I'm just excited to see where it goes. This is going to happen this Monday. I'll be starting. But then I'm also doing a TA job at the college that I went to school at, so I'll be also mentoring students, so that's really cool. But anyway, so yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's just exciting.
And it's not even like, usually with your first job, sometimes it could be like contract or it could be part-time. Like, you're getting like a full-time Monday to Friday 9 to 5. That's amazing.
Yeah, they lost a couple people in Christmas, so they're looking for people. I think that's why it's so important for them.
And just like your dad said, like your parents were really supportive and so happy for you, but your dad said it's a window of opportunity now that you can go through, and I mean, the rest should be history, really.
Yeah.
Because that's all you really need, is you need that first job in the field. And if you do well, the rest should be kind of easy peasy, not like the big struggle you had the first time.
Well, and I think I learned so much from my big struggle. I think networking is so important, and I think being a good person is important too. I don't want to be fake or anything like that, but I think I could just be a little bit more considerate of others and just be more of a networking person and just enjoy people's company. I think I need to be. I shouldn't be that afraid, of doing that. And I think that was one of my issues, and in the school, because I didn't really. I mean, I met Justin and a couple other people, and I was social with others, but I don't think I was like in on the fact that, or committed to the idea that this is the long haul, this is my career. And so now I'm really thinking of that more, and that's just it for me. Yeah. But I'm excited. So
exciting. And like with this, obviously you're going to be starting a new chapter of your life. So things are going to change if you like it or not.
We're also moving too. That's going to be exciting. I'm really happy about that. It's just switching pace and turning over a new leaf is good. And then hopefully things will turn out. We'll see. I am nervous. I'm nervous for the upcoming weeks, but I think everything will be okay.
That's kind of the feeling you always get when you're new. When you're new somewhere, you don't know, how things work, or I mean, that's just so normal. But I have no doubt it'll take you no longer than a couple of weeks to get into it. Yeah. And they're going to be very lucky to have you because you're a good worker. You can only really prove that by working somewhere and showing that. You can't, you could say that, but
there will be a lot of overtime, just to give you a heads up. I'll be
awesome.
Definitely there for a while.
Yeah. That's how my brother started out too. At these types of places, you start off kind of at the bottom, or you do a lot of overtime, you work a lot of hours, and maybe don't get the best compensation, but my brother's been with his company now for almost, I think, 3 years or something, but he moved up very quickly. So you show what you're worth, and you'll get rewarded for it, for sure.
Exactly.
So it's all within your control, Yeah,
I mean, exactly.
Hopefully. I can't say that for sure. Who knows how companies work, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very arbitrary. Sometimes people love confident people, and sometimes people love people who are just like there to work.
That's true.
It's very up and down.
That's
like, you never
true.
know.
So dependent on the employer.
Yeah,
and you'll figure that out eventually as well.
Yeah, I think it's about reading people. Yep. Anyway, what about you? I know your January's been fun.
Oh, yeah. Best year ever. But actually, it's been awful. So I went away for 10 days at the end of December, got back on the 1st. And I've been having these like health issues as of May of last year. I would basically just like get like this constant nausea and like vomiting and like pain in my stomach, to the point where I had to go to the ER to get some relief from medication. So that happened about 5 times, and it was usually about 2 months in between each episode. So then I was, freaked out that it was going to happen when I was away, because, that's just inconvenient. And anyway, I was lucky. I was perfectly fine the whole 10 days. So the morning of leaving Winnipeg to come to Vancouver, it was a very early morning flight on the 1st, and the symptoms started that morning, and I thought, oh no. And I know that with this type of thing, you get in your head and you can actually make it quite worse, which I know I definitely did. But regardless, it started on the flight. It was awful. I was literally in the bathroom the whole flight, up and down. Continued on to when we got back into the city, So when we got back, I was still very sick, as I said, from the flight. And basically got back to my place. Like, you know what? Just try to relax, smoke a little bit of a joint, see if that helps you relax, lay down, breathe, it'll pass. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I would love that to happen. I'm going to give that a try because who wants to go to the ER? It's awful there. It's awful. You don't even get like relief right away. You got to fucking wait like hours. So it's like, I don't want to go to the ER. Of course I'm going to try. So I laid down, I breathed, I just worked a little bit, wasn't really going away. I would kind of doze in and out of sleep because, mind you, we've been up since 2 a.m. Vancouver time, 4 a.m. Winnipeg time. So it's been a long day so far. Anyway, so after a couple hours, I'm still sick. Then I start to throw up blood. And I'm like, okay, like I'm throwing up blood now. I'm going to the hospital. So I end up going to the hospital by myself, which is about 5 blocks from where I live. So it's not a big deal. And so my brother, who had the day off, obviously, because it was New Year's Day, came and sat with me there in the emergency room waiting because he's my brother. And of course, and he was obviously mortified as well. So basically sitting in the ER, and then all of a sudden, for the first time, I feel okay without any medication, without seeing a doctor. It's passed on its own. And I'm thinking like, that's great, So I leave the ER because it's a long wait and I'm feeling better. So my brother's like, do you want me to, I'll drop you home. Do you want me to pick you up some food? I'm like, no, I just got to go home. Then that evening, a few hours later, symptoms come back. And that's when it all went downhill.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So got admitted into the ER that evening, released me after they cured the symptoms, went in back the next morning. So basically I went in 3 times until then they admitted me into the hospital. I ended up spending 8 days in the hospital. And I finally got a diagnosis. So it's something called gastroparesis. And I realized that I have a very mild version of it because I've been fine since I got out. But basically what you have to do is eat small meals frequently in the day, which is not what I was doing for a long time. I have a history with an eating disorder. So even though I'm in recovery, my eating has always been all over the place. So unfortunately, it took this crisis for me to smarten up and start to eat the way I should have been eating for years. But yeah, and that's basically it. And then there's some foods I need to stay away from. Like, I was a big raw vegetable eater before, but those days are pretty much over because your digestive, it's really hard to digest raw food and high fat food. So basically it's a trial and error. I can eat whatever I want depending on how my body reacts. But going forward, I know that if I get another episode of this, I know that a lot of the stress in my head, it will be gone because I know what it is. I know it's going to pass, and I have some medication, some anti-nausea medication that they prescribe me that if I want to take it with symptoms, I can.
You're detailed orientated though too, which is great. I mean, to find a positive out of this, you're detailed orientated, and I think it's a great way for you to start really thinking about what you eat in a good way.
You know what? There's a lot of good that's come of this. So even though it was a shitty start, I still think 2018 is going to be a really good year. It's going to be a good year for me growth-wise.
It seems like you're also you're pursuing your career more, like you're not looking at...
I mean, right now that's kind of on the back burner yet again because right now I'm really focused on my health. But definitely once I get... my A1C down, which is your average blood sugar over 3 months. Once you get that down, that'll really convince me that, okay, I'm on the right track. My body's starting to regulate again. Yeah. And then I can start to focus on, something else. But yeah, so it's been a big year in 18 days. It's been an 18-day year and it's been huge.
Very fucking huge.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk about it, but I'm so glad that I was able to let you guys know that and just have it out there. It's nice.
Personally, here's the thing. I wish you would have been here during New Year's because there was a lot of love at the store. There was a lot of love, and I don't think I've worked at the place I've worked at. Did I say the word, by the way?
Yeah, I think I can edit around it. It's
sure.
Okay.
The place I worked at, there was a lot of love, and I don't know if you saw the cards. There were piles of cards. Like there was probably 10 of them. I'd never seen that before last year, because last year it wasn't that much. And there was a lot of chocolates and gifts and stuff. And, talking with a lot of people, it was it felt like really good. It felt like you did the job, and you are a part of that. And I just wanted you to know, like, you are one of the reasons
wish I
why
had
there
been
was a
there.
lot of those cards, just as much as me or Soon.
No, I didn't see any of them, but I'll look tomorrow. That's really nice.
I don't know where they put them.
It's I don't know why, but like when I started there a year ago, we were probably about half of the people we are now, and we had a whole other half of other people. Yeah. And we were a big family. And to this day, over a year later, we have a completely different team almost. Maybe there's like 4 or 5 of us who are the same.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. A big family with lots of love, and I love everybody that we work with at that store.
Yeah.
And do I regret going to Winnipeg for 10 days? I mean, not really, because we had a good time. It was a nice break. I needed to get away. Winnipeg is a lovely place. It's very cold. It was just nice to see another part of Canada, and it was nice to see where Cole comes from and his family and stuff. So, but I do regret making that decision when I did. I made it, like my mom said, it's like, you need to start making better decisions. And it's true. Like, I didn't really think about it. Could I afford it financially? Not really, just kind of decided on it last minute. So in a way, I wish that I had been here, because I would have loved to have.
Well, it was a good decision, I think, because I'm assuming. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. Let's see who this is.
Let's see.
Hello? Hello? Just fucking tell us.
Oh.
Fucking tell us.
Sponsor.
You just when you think it's someone's important, Jesus.
No, they've been calling me a lot, and I hang it up very easily because it's not anything important. I've just.
Is it like a recording?
No, it's someone. My contract's up anyway, so like I've just been paying.
Yeah, like
monthly.
They probably want to get you to re-sign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
sorry about that, guys. I mean, you got to.
I was actually done anyway. So we've kind of caught up with.
But I just wanted to say, like, the love is there, and it's good. I mean,
I love that. I've missed everybody. I went back to work on Monday. I'm only working 2 days this week, just kind of going back slow because I've had some doctor's appointments, some follow-up, which has been good. Oh, I went and got my blood done on Tuesday, and everything is back to normal. There wasn't one flagged result, so super happy about that. And that's really going to come with the consistent diet and eating well. So everything was back to normal. So I'm sure my doctor's happy about that. I'm happy about that. So now, just keeping it up.
yeah.
And yeah, it was great to come back on Monday. Everybody was really sweet. All my regulars, well, where have you been? Oh my God, how are you? It's really sweet. So, I do bitch about the job, but honestly, I'm pretty lucky right now.
Good.
It's a good job to have in the meantime. I mean, but I'm just super happy for you.
I was talking with Justin though, and I was listing off a whole bunch of customers, their name and what they order, and I realized like, wow, they've made an impact in my life. And I've just been so ignorant about it. Like I loved it, but until I started telling Justin, I was like, wow, these people are a part of my life. I can't not undo that, and they've been a good part of my life.
Yeah.
Callie, the one that gets the 10 pump hazelnut ice Americano. Like I talk with her all the time. Mary, who gets the Americano.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's so kind and sweet. And I talked to her about the job that I got, and she was like, I was thinking about you today.
Aww.
About that. That's so awesome. And
these are real connections. These are real relationships that we make with these people.
Yeah.
Think about it. You've been there almost 2 years.
yeah.
It's like seeing somebody every day for 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course you're going to, develop a relationship where they know about your life and they're thinking about you. Absolutely. It's nice. Not a lot of people can say that in their jobs. And that's one of the good things about working in customer service,
You get the one that is like, ugh.
Oh, there's a lot of shit you got to deal with.
And that's why we're here, guys. But overall, it's really good and it feels good.
It's going to be interesting to hear about when you start your new job and sort of how the dynamic. I know it's not going to be so much customer service like you do at our store.
It's not going to be.
But it's going to be a dynamics between employees, which is I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, and it's not going to be dramatic either. Unfortunately, I think I'm really pushing it to.
Yeah, no, but I'm just more curious to see how you're going to deal with it, like how it's all going to go.
I'm really pushing it to be more of someone who just wants to network and make good connections, and I think that in itself is going to be interesting. I'm going to find interesting relationships through that. I mean, just even sitting and having a meal with my friend Kat and her friends, they have so many interesting stories about their past careers, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go to their dinner party. And I feel like the more I open up, the more I'm going to find fucking interesting stories. So there, just to let you guys know, there's a lot to come. Hopefully we can get more guests.
Yeah, we haven't had a guest yet. So definitely we're working on it, guys, for
Yeah.
sure. It's just a matter of getting everybody's availability. And like right now we get this space, 1 day a week at a certain time. So that's obviously not going to work for everybody. So
Yeah.
we're trying.
I think if we do go to the weekend, it might be easier.
It might be, yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people are more
That's
available.
a good point, yeah.
We'll
and
see.
before we move on, I wanted also Justin to update us on his life. Because
how's your
things
life?
are different now for you,
Sure.
job-wise especially.
Well, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, my headphones are really screeching at me right now, so I'm trying to pay attention. So last episode, I told you guys that I quit my job. I was rehired as a morning server. So I don't bus anymore in the evenings, which is really good because ever since I got there, I wanted to become a server. But, it's my first time in a restaurant and entry level job.
You got to put the time in, but you did put the time in, so.
Yeah. I put the time in for a year and a half.
So they basically just asked him not to walk away because they saw what they were losing and they offered you basically what you wanted.
Yeah,
and now
exactly.
you're doing serving and no more busing, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you have seniority. So
it's really nice.
That's the one positive of
Seniority.
that's the one positive of not going to another restaurant.
That is
Whereas
true.
You would have started
And-
at the bottom.
and-
Here, they know you. You've been there. You did your time. You bust. Now you're a server, and you can own that shit proudly.
Sweet seniority.
Yeah.
That's what I call
Yeah,
it.
and I know the menu and everything, so it's nice. But
Yeah, that's good.
It's cool.
And more months to put onto your resume for if you want something else.
Yeah,
You talk
exactly.
about not wanting to do serving jobs though forever, right? Like, so
I mean,
but it's still good to have
yeah,
that.
I don't want to do
see
it
why
for.
you're choosing to do it though, because
Yes.
it's good money.
It is good money. Yeah,
It's good money, like the tips. Right?
Honestly, that's probably one of the main reasons why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
I think like almost all jobs that
yeah.
people don't like, they do it for the money.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
got to be a reason.
I mean, it's not that I don't like it completely. Like,
okay.
I feel like it's building my social skills a lot too,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
something.
And
that
would you
I-
say that you work with people that you like?
I do work with people that I like. Actually, me and Dustin were talking last night because he was talking about all these customers that he feels like he's connected with and things like that.
Yeah.
And he knows their menu and he knows their order and he knows their name. And I feel like I don't really have that at my restaurant, but I think that it just shows how me and Dustin are sort of like different people because I'm okay with that. I feel like I like going to work and I like just doing the job. And there's this one guy that comes in really often and he's really cool. Like I really like him. I really like talking to him.
Nice.
But when I'm at work, I feel like it just distracts me so much. And I enjoy the juggling of tables because it's sort of like a game for me.
That is good. Yeah.
But yeah,
So
I just thought that was a cool thing to point out.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and
yeah.
I mean, it's okay too. I mean, sometimes like I said, this whole podcast is meant for one reason anyway, where you do realize that there is that one person that's a pain in the ass. And you know what's interesting though, is that person could be good somewhere else. And then they're looking at someone who's a pain in the ass. It just
that's so
never
true.
ends. It's kind of like, what do you do in those situations? And I've been learning a lot about that too, actually, especially being on both sides of the spectrum. It really comes down to a matter of like, if you just stay away and not being a part, or if you want to try to make ends meet, try to make ends meet. But it is definitely okay to stay away, and in the best way possible. I mean, it's respectful. It's rather to do that than to be fake, in front of someone.
That's so true.
I've always thought about that too. It's like, ugh, like if you're a weird person and we don't click, I don't want to keep pushing that forward.
No.
Yeah.
It's just uncomfortable.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If there's a way to do it, then I'm all for it. But
Yeah.
But it's just something that's interesting. And going back to my store, it's interesting because now that I've done that, like now that we talked about that, and I've told you about all the customers, it becomes more meaningful because actually
Totally.
Me and Catherine were talking about like jobs and stuff, and I was telling her how I used to work for the Boys and Girls Club, and I worked with 8 to 12-year-old boys, and there were some delinquents, like some of them were just pieces of shit, and you know what, that's fine. I used to be a piece of shit when I was a kid too.
Oh, we've all done the POS.
Yeah, and
role.
and we were talking and Catherine was saying like sometimes some of these kids that are being more of an issue actually have a larger capacity to learn and more a larger heart than they like to show. And that's what's so amazing about that sort of thing. And I used to, and we were talking and then I got to the point where I was just saying, yeah, that's exactly what I feel. And I used to be one of those kids too. And she was like, oh, I love you, man. And then she hugged me, and then I was like, I love you too. And I hugged her too. I don't think you get that. You don't get that in a lot of places. And I feel really thankful to have that sort of interaction.
For sure.
Where I work.
And actually the last couple months of the year, November and December, I was getting a lot of feedback from our customers, our regulars, and they were saying like, like for example, Catherine, who you were just talking about, she is a tutor. So she tutors ESL all over the city. So she goes to a lot of different places. And she told me that this is her number one favorite spot. She's like, this place, I don't know. There's just love here. There's a connection here. This is my number one go-to. It just, that says a lot. And
it says a lot.
A lot. And we have a lot of regulars, and I love them all. Honestly, I can think of like 10 right now that are just like, I don't know. It's nice.
They're good people.
It's so nice. It's really adds to the positivity of the job.
It does.
Even the other day, like I was back and this guy comes in, never seen him before, and he's actually quite cute. And, he said his name really quickly. So I was like, can I get your name for the cup? And I thought he said Gun, but he said John. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought you said Gun. Like, that's so funny. He was like, ooh, that would be a badass name. And we just kind of like connected over that. Cause I was like, I literally thought you said your name was Gun. Like, that's I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just so easy at our job to make connections with people all the time. And just from that connection alone, I would assume that he would come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what our cafe is all about, that customer connection. Whereas a lot of cafes, they're just focused on the product, which is fine. I mean, we're pretty proud about our product too, but the connection is really.
Can I just say we're really shitty guys at trying to not say the company we work at. And I'm just going to be real.
But I'm going to be real for a second too. I'm pretty sure our listeners have figured out where we work.
Oh, for sure.
Just because of like we'll talk about, I don't know, just certain names of drinks or this and that. And anyway, I think it's pretty obvious, but maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe they'll do like some sort of like game where they're like, guess where Amanda and Dustin work.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is we're not putting the company down. I love the company. It's a great company to work for. We're just talking about the dynamics within the company, working there and connecting with people.
No, and people, I don't understand why companies are so afraid of the negative sometimes, because when there's negative, there's going to be massive positive. Like,
absolutely.
I never understand
and
that.
Every workplace has that.
Yeah, like if people hear that there's a negative, it makes it more real. It's like, oh, okay, they kind of suck, but maybe there's actually let's
every
go
place
and try it out.
Sucks. Yeah,
every place has its issues, and I think the way that we talk about it, I think it's different. I think people understand that. Okay, well, it's not just me that feels like maybe this place that I work at is shitty. You'll get shitty experiences in every place that you work at, and it's fine. And I think there's this sort of like uptight, like, oh, we have to be presentable, but it's like, or represent, but not all the time. Yeah. Like I think we got to stop stressing out about that all the time.
And the only difference between us and people who work there who talk amongst themselves when they're out in public is that this is recorded. But I mean, please, I mean, and this is not going to be the first time people have heard of our company that is bad or it's good. Every place has good and bad. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I've said this before. I've kind of changed my opinion on it. But, if someone asks me, how was your day? And I go, oh, it was kind of all right. I mean, but I was called a name when I was on the SkyTrain. And it kind of felt crappy. And then they would probably say, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Like, that's real to me. Like, I think we need to push more to that rather than just saying, hi, how are you? I'm good. Have a great day. Yeah. Like, trust me, I don't want to talk a lot while I'm working. Like, I get that, people. I understand. But if we are talking in short bursts, we might as well make it a little bit more real and enjoyable. Exactly. I get it. Like, so that's kind of my thing. And I was listening to the past podcasts that I've been making, and I'm realizing how I sound, and it sounds a little bit more sort of childish. And I just want to reel that all back in and just point out that that's what I believe. I do believe we should have more of a genuine interaction with people. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. because we're all smart. And I'm saying even people that are out on the street, we're intelligent human beings. I mean, if you believe in evolution or whatever, it doesn't matter. But we all have the ability to know if something's authentic or not. I think that is something I could safely say.
I think so.
Some can read it more than others, but we can definitely tell if something is real or not in a conversation, and might as well be genuine, if we can. And I think we can learn to make genuine, quick bursts of conversations if we're meeting someone for a couple seconds. There's nothing wrong with that. No. And I think that is something that I like to push forward. Because
I'm going to definitely think about that moving forward, because you have now left the job, which makes me sad, but we don't really work together a lot. So, but I'm just so happy that you're getting something, that you're moving on. But I'll definitely, because I'm probably going to be there for probably a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, but definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm going to think about that moving forward. And I just wanted to add as well that, can I just say that anybody who is in your industry and goes to school and doesn't work, goes to school and then gets a job right after school, you have so much more to offer than they do. Because look at all the experience you've gotten at where we work.
Right.
You've gotten so much, you have so much more to bring to the table than somebody who just graduated and then went and got a job. I don't know, because you're still working with people. And so, I don't know. I think that just gives you an edge up for sure. And it makes you more humble as well.
It definitely does.
Yeah. I had to work. I really struggled. I
was told
a lot.
No. Yeah. Exactly. And I'm okay with that now.
Yeah.
And,
I knew you were going to get a job, soon.
And, I knew that. And it was...
But it can get discouraging after a while. You can actually start to doubt yourself. And I'm saying that from experience. I'm never going to get a job. It's not going to happen for me.
I knew that I was getting rejected a lot. And luckily I did take a job in sales before any of this. And I really think timing, and I really think things happen for a reason. And true. I worked for sales, and rejection is the most permanent thing selling. You get told no all the time. Yes. You get chased off the lawn, someone's front lawn. You get called names, and you get hit by someone, or you get in arguments. It happens so much. Wow. And it happened so much when I was selling.
That'll really toughen you up for sure.
And for me, I was in a very impressionable moment in my life. So when I was learning all of this, I just was like, wow, okay, this is reality. I'm literally at its doorstep.
Yeah.
This is what the world is like. And I think after the 7 months of being rejected, I don't think I would have been able to withstand several months of rejection.
For sure.
If I didn't have that job for the 5 months.
Good for you for taking a sales job, by the way. I have never had a sales job because I'm terrified. I am not aggressive at all when it comes to selling stuff. So it's
too.
I'm not either.
Do you want to buy this? No. Okay, thanks. I will not try and shove it down your throat. I will not.
If you meet me now, you'll think I'm aggressive. But before, I wasn't selling.
Well, I'm sure that job will make you.
And the thing that was funny about it was in the eyes of people who I sold, I was actually real and telling them, you have this month, you can't get out of the contract, so just want to let you know, blah, blah, blah. This is I was telling them things that you weren't supposed to tell them.
And
people appreciated that.
Yeah.
And I gave them my phone number. I'm here's my phone number. I mean, if you have anything in terms of who you need to call, or if something's not working, I can call in a tech for this amount of time. So it was really cool. And I don't know, it was just something that was really awesome to go through. And, and just going through all the rejection for trying to find a job in this industry, I think has even made me, you could call it toughening the skin, but it's also, it makes me want to sit in the back seat. It doesn't make me want to sit in the front seat anymore. I just want to sit in the back seat and learn. And I'm hungry for knowledge. And I told the guys that I was in the interview with, I said, I just want to start. And so I want to be in the back seat for a while. And I want to sit and just watch. I see
that all the time in you. Just even when we're all hanging out and we decide to smoke a joint, you're the quietest one. And you're literally always just saying, I do it for the experience, for the experience, for the experience. And you really are just sitting there. And you're engaging. But a lot of the time you're really just taking it all in.
Yeah.
And just thinking about it and analyzing it and learning. You're so hungry for knowledge. I can just, it's written all over you and you say it. So
yeah. And that's
a good
just
place
the
to be
reality.
in, though. That's a good place to be in. I like that.
Well, with other circumstances happening right now, which I don't really want to get into, it's something that's really helping me. And so, a new leaf has been flipped, and hopefully we are.
Yeah. Well, that's why these certain experiences happen, so we can learn from them.
Yeah.
And we change from them too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think that wraps it up, guys. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, this was more of, I think, a catch-up, Happy New Year type of episode. I think next week.
We had a bit of work, or like our theme too in it. Like, I mean, we did.
We did talk about customer service.
I think we did a really good job for our first podcast of the year, if you think about it. Hey,
it is.
So, we want to be more consistent. We want to bring out more
Absolutely.
guests, and I think we're taking this a little bit more seriously.
Absolutely, we are. I am for sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to definitely try to get an episode out every week. The availability might change with what day we're meeting, but
I don't think that changes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, with your new job, I was thinking, like, right now, would you be able to meet up on a Thursday like this?
Probably not.
No. So we're going to change something.
It probably won't change, like, how often the podcast.
No, I didn't say that. Yeah, I just meant, like, the day might change, but we're going to try and be really consistent. I mean, it's important. I want this to be. I don't know what I want this to be. It already is something, but I want it to be something that. I don't know. It's almost like a little bit of therapy, to be honest, just to talk.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that.
And I'm excited to get to know who our listeners are too, because I know that we've kind of gone live recently.
I cannot wait for the negative comments. Can you, the haters? Like,
oh my God, it's gonna be great.
There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard already, and you don't even know what I look like. So.
Well, there's a cartoon version of you.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that. Did you do that?
I did.
I love it. It's so bang on.
Too.
I have the green eyes, which I do, the blonde hair, which I'm currently blonde, and then you have like your bun and the glasses. It's us. I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah. So.
So
anyway.
Send us in your stories. Send us in questions, whatever. And we are definitely going to work on having guests come in.
Have a great fucking day.
Have a great fucking day.
Have a great fucking day.
Why don't we do it like that from now on?
Who cares? Yeah.
We don't have
if we
to say
if we happen to say it at the same time, great. If not, have a great fucking day.